tastes really good. It kind of got in my mouth a little bit. Hit maker. Hey guys, it's your girl Malasia here, and I'm back with another video. As you can see by the title and this makeup look, I decided to create a holiday glam makeup look for you guys. I did use the Bretman and Colourpop collab. It was 2 lines. I used the Lit line. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a disclaimer, we had a little bit of foundation issues, but you know, just focus on the eye look. I did use the eye palette. I did use the Super Shock Cheek shadow, which is basically the blush, and I did use the lippies, and I will, you know, go into detail about what was what. And I did use the glitter for the eyes as well. Forgot to mention that. So if you're not subscribed, make sure that you do. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this look. See you in the next clip. Hey y'all, so I'm fresh faced. That's not even a word. I bought the Bretman Rock Colourpop palette. I wanted to show you guys you know, how the palette looks and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys could tell, this is the palette. It literally says Lit. That's the collection that I bought. It was 2 of them, Wet and Lit. So this is kind of what the palette looks like. Very neutral, warm colors. This is what I'm going to be using today to create the holiday glam look. In the collection, it was also it came with the She Lit, and this is basically like some loose glitter. What that looks like. Isn't that so gorgeous? It literally comes, I'm sorry if I got these ghetto nails in y'all's way. Along with that is the Colourpop, obviously, blush in Ooh, She Blushing. It's their Super Shock Cheek Shadow. And lastly, it came with 3 lip products. Ultra Satin Lip, the lip color wig. Yeah, it's like a red wine kind of color, along with the ultra glossy lip. I put it on my hand. I put it right here. It's just a gloss, a really pretty gloss. And then lastly, I get a lippie pencil in Dukes. That's the number. So Dukes. I'm just gonna put it right next to where I put that gloss, and it's just a nice kind of wine kind of color. So first things first, I'm just going to go ahead and apply primer to my skin. I'm going to be using the Maybelline primer, and it is the Hydrate in Smooth because I have dry skin. But after that, you guys know I'm color correcting. I'm a little dark around my mouth area, and I put a little bit into my eyes. So I'm just going to be going in with the LA Girl color correct in the shade Orange. All right, moving on to my brows. I'm pretty simple when it comes to my brows. I use a pencil. This pencil is from Target. It's the Rimmel Eyebrow pencil. I literally use it like almost every day. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean those up using the MAC Studio Finish Concealer. I use this concealer every time I do my brows, and I'm gonna be taking it with a Morph brush. I got this brush in a set, so it doesn't really have like a number on it. Alright, so I am bringing you guys up close and personal to my face because I really want you guys to see how I do the look. I'm going for a holiday look like I mentioned, and I did show you guys the palette that I'm working with, so I'm just gonna kind of play around and see what I come up with. But first I'm going to take the shade in Period. It's gonna be this one right here. But before I do that, I do want this eyeshadow to kind of like, you know, the color to come across very pigmented and last a long time. So before I do that, I'm going to go with my MAC Paint Pot and Laying Low. This is one of the reasons why I chose the collection lid. Not to say that wet wouldn't have showed up great on brown skin. I just know how to work well with warm colors because it complements my skin tone. So, but I really like the blend of this both. I think it's very, very seamless. I'm gonna go back in with the Laying Low MAC Paint Pot. So since we cut our crease, I wanted to go in with Macchiato, the shade right here, Macchiato. It's a kind of like a mauve brown kind of color. I'm just gonna go in with that same brush I used before and blend it out just a little, just a little. Since I left this part blank, I'm gonna go in with the same brush. I mean, who really cares? And I'm gonna take Mercy. That's the shade that I was eyeballing. I'm just gonna dip my brush in there and place the shade directly in the middle. Hopefully you guys can see. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I want it to be a little bit darker in the inner and outer corner of my eye. I'm gonna go in and take this brown that's right there and kind of add it to the same place I added that Macchiato shade. So now basically we're done. We just gotta add the nice little pigment that I showed you guys earlier. I'm gonna place that in the center of my eye. So before I do that, I wanted to take a little bit of lash glue. I don't have like an adhesive other than that. Pat, 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 pat. Get it? I'm just like patting it on there like that. And I'm just gonna add it like that. Oh. Oh, they didn't come to play. Oh, wow, y'all. Oh my goodness. Get into this look. Alright guys, so I did do my other eye and applied lashes off camera just for the sake of, you know, time. But you guys get the gist of what we were doing. Moving on to the face, we've already color corrected and everything else. I'm going to take the Oldie But Goodie Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. So with this foundation, a little goes a long way. And I'm just going to sweep it on my face and see how it comes out. I'm gonna use a brush just to see how I like it. Like I said, a little goes a long way, and we're gonna see how well this one like matches me. I can kind of already tell it's probably not gonna match, but I'm gonna give it some time before I just judge. Y'all, this is crazy how it's coming up on camera. I promise you, in person it's looking fine. Just ignore that I look like a olive green mess. I'm gonna take the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC45. Since I'm gonna need some serious contouring, I'm going to go in with Bobbi Brown foundation stick in the shade Expresso, and I'm just going to try my best to not look like I got punched in the face, but also balancing out this olive green type of situation. I'm even gonna take it underneath. I normally don't even take it underneath my chin, but I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna go in with my Laura Mercier powder in the shade Translucent. Take a Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to set all the places that I highlighted. And a trick that you can do is take the powder underneath, and if it gets like a little harsh right here, you can just bring the powder up and around. It's gonna balance out. And the face powder I'm going to be taking is the MAC Mineralized Skinfinish in the shade Dark. And you guys see that? I was watching Tiara Walker's video, so shout out to her, and she put this on, which is something I've been doing, but I just didn't realize the difference it made. So this is the area where I put the powder on my face. It's looking a little more natural, looking more, you know, toned down. And then I'm gonna do the same for this side. So I'm gonna take the BH Cosmetics contour palette, and I'm gonna take this shade here that's pretty much hit pan. It's just like a nice warm kind of like bronzer. So it's like, it's better, you know? It's coming out better, guys. So like I mentioned before, I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek Shadow in the shade Oh She's Blushing. So once I'm on the lips, I'm gonna go in with Ultra Satin Lip in Wig. So it's more like a red. Wow, it's super pretty. Then on top of that, I'm going to add the gloss that I showed you guys earlier. It just made it a little bit more shiny, and it tastes really good. It kind of got in my mouth a little bit.